So the first question we're gonna get started with today is how long is too long before marriage?
I think it really depends on the person. Some people feel like they should be together for a year, 2 years before, but I feel like D was saying like 6 months after we started dating, he wasn't married. So
That's real.
and a lot of people say it don't take a man long to know if he want to marry you or not. You know, it might not always matter. Like y'all might not always get married right then there, but for him to know if he wants to marry you or not is like, it's not too long after y'all start dating. Hmm? Not too long after, like, well, not saying not too long, but like 6 months, a
My
year and a
my
half.
my question is like, what's the amount of time before you just leave him? Like, how long is too long before you just say,
Ah,
"Fuck him, he
okay.
taking too long"?
I was thinking about the question wrong. Oh,
That's what the female says,
I would say three, 4 years.
and you just go pack your shit and leave.
I mean, we can at least have a. If you don't want to marry me, like, why am I still here? You know, if you know you don't want to marry me, like, if marriage haven't even crossed your mind yet.
What about you, Khadijah?
There's no time on love.
I'm screaming.
Quisha, what you think?
There's 5 max.
5 years max, and you leaving. You're done.
Definitely. That's no point.
D?
We'll be doing 5 Mac. That's different, boy. Shit. The conversation should be had at first, and if it's, I believe it's longer than your number is expected, cut the date off. Don't you
Okay.
pay your part of the bill? Have it first date on the date. How long is too long before you propose? And if that number is exceeded your expectations, pay for your portion of the meal and leave, because that's not your partner.
Okay, so since you said that, you'll be open out in the book about, okay, they give you this number, but that don't mean that you're gonna meet that number. That don't mean you're gonna go before or after that number. So how can you base it off of just that number? Like, all right, you say 2 years, all right, well, 2 years is here. But there could have been different things that happened in your life to where that 2 years is not 2 years.
Right.
Right.
I understand that. I understand that.
So what about
So
how
like
long
you
it
watching the
takes you?
clock now.
So what about how long it takes you to get to actually know the person that you're with versus putting a time limit on?
Right.
I want to be married in a year, but within that year, I still don't know who you are.
We never lived together within that year.
Well, it's not necessarily a time limit, like a hard time. It's more so like I said, even if you don't marry her right then and there, you should at least know if you want to. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's fair.
I believe it takes,
You the host.
because the man is the it's up to the man to get married. Honestly, like that's the person who proposed. That's the person who engages in it.
Uh-huh.
Um, if it's like I said, if it's not in your time, then that's your time to walk away within that first conversation. If y'all serious, it can be. It don't even have to be the first date conversation. It can be a week after talking. You could get to know within that time period. Hey, a year is my max. 2 years is my max.
Within a week?
Within a week, you can have that conversation. Yeah, have that conversation of how long it's been, like how long it's gonna be until you propose. And if that number exceeds your limit, like let's say,
Yeah, but you wouldn't know that for real.
but you can
After a week.
no, but that's why the question is had, because let's say before we actually got married,
Right.
you said you want to be married within 2 years, and I'm like, ooh, I don't think I'm gonna get to know you within the whole 2 years. I would like to go at least 5.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I'm saying. It would be your time to be like, well, nah, this relationship ain't for me, because you're not looking for something as like I'm looking for something. You're something that's in the further future. Mine is more in the near future.
Right. But I'm saying like after a week just seems like it don't seem long enough. Like I don't even know if I want to marry you within a week.
As I say, after a week, y'all can have the conversation, not two.
I don't feel like you can have the conversation.
I think you mean like the goals, like okay,
When
is
you're
that
at-
something that you want to do in your
Right.
future?
Short time.
It doesn't mean like I gotta make up my mind in a week.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what
Right.
he's saying. I'm thinking like y'all just having conversation. Okay, so what do you think about marriage?
Right. But I don't
That's
think
what
like
he's
that
talking
either.
about.
Because D said before me and him started talking, he was never getting married. Like that was not on his
But
card.
I guess he knew in a week.
Ain't no.
No, I'm just saying, like,
He knew in a week that maybe you were
Damn,
y'all gonna get married.
That nigga's thirsty.
So
nah.
How long do you stay engaged, right?
Engaged?
well, you know, it's supposed to shit.
How long do you stay engaged?
I don't
Oof. That's kind of
I
harsh.
I think it varies. In my situation, I think it varies. Like if certain things happen while you're
Right.
engaged, you got babies, deaths
Life
of
happens.
families, and things like that. I feel like once you get engaged, the man is telling you he will marry you.
Mm-hmm.
He will marry you, but life happens.
Life do happens, but at the same time, you just can't just keep putting it off, putting it off, putting it off. Because then I'm gonna feel like, oh, well, you
Right.
did it for a show, and
I
you didn't
agree.
really mean it.
I agree.
Right, I feel that.
But also, I get engaged, and I wait 3 years to have a wedding. Am I doing it like you said for a show? Was I genuinely ready,
Mm-hmm.
or am I doing it just to satisfy you?
because you have the time.
I think that's another thing. I think some men just get married and satisfy the woman.
I say this. I would give it a year of being engaged. Me personally, I would say a year of being engaged. Because there's always a courthouse, whether something happens or not. If you know she's gonna stick with you through thick and thin, and she accepted that ring, y'all can go to the courthouse and then have a big wedding later. So that's
Marriage is the goal. The wedding
it's
is the dream.
The wedding is for the people.
It is. Right.
I'm gonna say the wedding is for the women.
That's what I agree with that.
So the next question is gonna be: is cheating always a deal breaker?
Who want to start with that?
I thought at first, as a young woman, that yeah, you cheat on me, you do this and that. That's it. I'm done. I'm moving. I'm burning these clothes. Whatever. Now that I'm a seasoned woman, it kind of give you a different perspective to look on it. You know, like you, what did you do? What happened differently? Like, how could this have been prevented? Like, was he that person from jumping? I just chose to, ignore those signs. Like, a lot of things could come into play. So when you ask that question specifically, it's like you go either way. Like, yeah. Okay.
Anybody?
All right, I will say this. As I was told, there's many different forms of cheating. Many.
Facts.
But, and I'm not saying this to sound misogynistic at all. Specifically for men, men can cheat 100 times and still love the woman that they're with.
Mm-hmm.
There's different levels to cheating. It depends on the reason of the cheating. Men, most of the time, cheat out of lust. Women, like I said, not sound misogynistic. Usually there's feelings involved.
Yeah.
I think it's circumstantial to where you at in your relationship.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
if I'm like a couple months in with a shorty and she cheat on me, I'm out of there.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
Yeah.
You know, but when you're really in love with somebody, it sucks that you kind of have to
Bite the bullet through thick and thin.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to bite the bullet. You can still leave, but like when you get kids involved, and I feel like the further you are and the more you invest into a relationship, that's why it's fucked up when like you are invested with somebody and they cheat on you because you like, damn, like it's not that you don't have options, but you kind of shut off everything to be with that person. They
Right.
cheat,
Right.
But I feel like it just depends on where you at in your relationship.
That was a good standpoint.
I like this. I'm gonna say, for better or for worse, for rich or for poor, sickness and health till death do us part. Infidelity was never in that. If y'all want to bring that point, I believe if y'all married and cheating is a thing, y'all have to work that out. Of course, it's a deal breaker for some, but if you swore under God that your marriage is on those standards, you have to figure it out. Find if therapy is in it, a lot of healing, and bring family in, to help heal wounds. Because
I don't agree with that.
again, sickness and health.
It's especially if it's one-sided. Why I gotta figure this shit out?
No.
If you doing me dirty, why I gotta work on myself?
I'm just more of a communicate and figure out what made this person.
No, I'm with you. You gotta try a little bit, but damn, if it's like continuously one-sided, oh hell no.
It's like Khadijah said. What do you think could have possibly led your partner to possible want to, or to take out, any form of action to cheat?
So like, you can't just say, he cheated.
I'll say this. You can't always beat yourself down or say, oh, well, I was the cause of it. Because sometimes you're not the cause of it. Sometimes they just choose to do what they chose.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. So you can't look at it and say, well, what's the cause of it? Or feel like, hey, well, if I would have did this, I would have did that. But you can't also beat yourself up about it either, because at the end of the day, that person has a mind of their own. They're going to think for themselves. They're going to do what you want to do. Because you can be doing everything in the world correctly, and they will still go out and do what they want to do. They have a mind on their own. You can't speak for them. You can't think for them.
That's true.
But what if you're not?
So
Yeah, I don't know who started that shit.
What?
I get cheated on. Why do people blame the victim?
Right.
Like, why do I never understood that? What did I
Right.
do to make this person cheat on?
But
Right.
like she said, you could be doing everything perfect
That's what I'm saying.
and still get cheated on, but
Right.
what if you're not?
In some
no
cases, if you're not, then you're gonna take your blame and say, "Well, hey, I need to. This is
take accountability.
yes, I'm gonna take accountability for it and say, hey, I'm gonna sit back and think, hey, well, okay, well, this is what I did wrong. This is what I need to be doing. So this is how we move on from there."
And if it is, it's some a reason exactly
Right.
that you did go ahead on and do that specific thing. Let them know, hey, look, I stepped up because of this.
So right.
That comes from communication that I definitely think that you have a strong point over there, dude. Like for real.
That's
Nah,
it.
I thought my point was strong too, but
No,
continue.
like I said, to ultimately answer the question of if you ask me if cheating would be a deal breaker, it would depend on the form of cheating and why.
Yeah, that's
I believe
the form of cheating is crazy, because if she get a train run on her, I'm gone. There's no coming back from that. I'm not working shit out. I ain't gonna hold you, bro.
You from the streets.
so. D, you said there's different forms of cheating. My question to y'all is one cheating worse than the other, or do y'all put all of them in the exact same box?
I think some is
I
worse.
think
Some is
I
worse
wouldn't
than
say
the
they're worse.
A train, bro?
They're coming back home. It's worse.
Cheating is cheating regardless.
So
like,
I would say one is worse than the other, but I would say there's levels to it.
So would you divorce your husband for text messaging the phone? Next person.
No.
Would you divorce your husband if
To answer your question, no, I wouldn't.
Thank you.
I had to.
You say
No, I didn't say anything. No. Okay, to answer the question, I don't even remember it. If I think cheating is a deal breaker, okay, I know this sounds kind of messed up, but previously it like wasn't necessarily, but now that I'm married, I feel like it kind of would be, because with D is different. Like, I've loved other people, but I've never loved nobody the way I love my husband. So for you to betray me would be like really effed up.
Good job.
Right. You know what I mean?
I'm sick of this. Not the plan.
Some people have the mind frame of, okay, well, like prime example, if you're married and you cheat, different situation.
Right.
Like, we ain't married. Some people feel like, hey, well, I'm still considered single. Some people
Right.
still move like that.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, being married.
To piggyback on what Key said, she look at it like the opposite way. Some people be like, oh, I gotta stay with this person because we married. And to like, I don't know what she said. No, I should leave this person because we married,
I wouldn't leave him. I'm not gonna say I would leave him, but at the same time, like how do you, it depends on him for real. Like, how do you get over something like that whenever Because a lot of people do it and then they want you to heal in a certain time frame. Like how you betray me and then expect me
Right.
to heal when you want me to heal.
Or if
That's
I'm
not how that
mad,
works. Exactly.
you expect me to get over it just because we had a conversation
Because-
about
right.
it. No, my
And
feelings
that
are
happens.
still
Valid.
there.
Like you could get cheated on and then I'm fine for 2 months. And then all of a sudden I see her and now I'm mad all over again.
That's true.
Facts.
You can't tell somebody when to heal.
It's not
Right.
So my thing is, are you in a process of healing? Like, are you really trying to get over it or work through it, or are you just gonna hold on to it and try to make and force yourself to believe?
But
you're
why
getting
don't
over it?
but why don't you piggyback the other way too? Like, is that person doing stuff to make me feel secure enough to trust the man? Like
Right.
I understand that.
the person that did the thing should be the person going through the loop, not the person that not the
Right.
victim.
I agree. But I would say, if you're the type of woman to go back to this, cheating person, I feel like you have to give it effort as well. Because some women, he cheated on me, I'm going to get back with him, but I'm going to hold it over his head all the fucking time.
Right.
You feel me?
That's true.
Some women just do that just to have an upper hand on somebody.
Yeah.
Or use it as a get back card.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever a good idea.
No.
Get back cards? Mm-mm.
Ever.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not the type of person to get back, but I am the type of person who I'm not gonna do no type of wrong, because if you do wrong, I want to always be able to say
I'm the same
I didn't do
way.
nothing.
I'm the
Because
same
I feel like when you do the same thing, that gives them like a,
It's a competition.
yeah,
Going back and forth.
it gives them like a something to say now. I'm not gonna ever give you nothing to say that.
Okay.
I do want to I'm sorry. I do want to piggyback off of what Demetrius said when he said about men not having no feelings. I don't agree with that when y'all say women feelings be involved, because sometimes a woman could play the same game that a man will play and could go out and do what they gotta do and not have feelings involved.
I think he was just saying like majority. Not.
Right. I don't feel that it's majority. Because I feel like if you, I'm a run game, how you run game. There's many women out here that will run game like a man and half the time be better than a man.
Okay.
Not always will a woman have feelings.
Okay,
Not always.
I'ma put it
I
to
don't
you-
agree with that.
I'll put it to you like this in a simple point. When it comes to women, being with multiple people, whether it be man or woman, doesn't matter. As a man, you're a master key. A woman is a locker. You don't want to be a shitty locker.
That's a fact. Yeah. That's where the train comes. Then you're asked out.
So, wrapping up this question, is cheating really a deal breaker?
Everybody
Moving on
answer.
to the next question, though. So, the next question is going to be, how many kids is too many when dating? 2. Let's go, D.
I'm gonna start off by saying the maximum is the limit that you have if you have kids.
Okay.
Wait, say that again?
No, I just.
I believe the maximum should be the limit that you have if you have kids.
Okay.
If you have 0 kids,
Then I believe you should meet somebody with no kids.
really,
Start your family, build together, work that way up. That way there wouldn't be no, I can't deal with this drama or I can't deal with that drama.
Right.
I don't agree with that.
I'm not saying should. I'm not saying you should find somebody, but I feel like it should be. Whenever I didn't have kids, I was like, I'm not dating nobody with kids because I'm not, it's hard dealing with the drama, behind people. If you don't have drama, cool. But a lot of women like to be drama after,
Your relationship.
after failed relationships, and now you with the dad, and now they wanna,
Try one.
they
other.
3-month-old miss their daddy at night. Like, come on, let's be honest.
That bitch sleeps at night.
Stop it. She crying because she missed her daddy.
That baby crying for a bottle.
I will say this, not to categorize the question. I would say there would be really no number limit for how many kids. It's how many different baby daddies you have.
Baby mamas.
So she got like 8 kids with one baby.
So
daddy.
that's what I'm saying. If she got 8 kids and 1 baby daddy, she good?
I
She
see that
great?
as a failed relationship.
Oh yeah, I get it. You're looking at it a little bit.
My limit is
Versus, if I'm a guy and I got 6 baby mamas with 8 kids, I'm a walking red flag.
You might be the problem.
Yeah, honestly,
Unless you Country Wayne. Shout out to Country Wayne, of course.
And also, I do feel like sometimes people with no kids make a really good bonus parent. Like, my stepmom never had kids, and she was an amazing bonus parent. I feel like it's your level of matureness on what you can handle.
I'm gonna just answer the question and say I think that 3 is too many.
Mine is
Cause
2.
like, what if I don't have no kids and I want to have kids with you? So now you're gonna have 4 and I'm gonna just have my 1. Like it's always gonna be a little unbalanced. Like 3 is too many, but 2, I got time to catch up. Cause 4 is a decent amount of kids. 5 is still a decent amount of kids. So like, if I got my 2 and you already have 3, then we fine. But then when we 3 and 3 and now we're 4 and 3.
Yeah, and it's 7 already.
Yeah, my limit is 2. 2 is that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
My limit was the amount I had, so I'm not gonna give y'all that number, but if you know me, you know me. That's my maximum, the limit that I have.
Okay, that wraps up that question there. So, the next question would be biggest relationship pet peeves.
I'll start with that. Mine is not being able to apologize. If you can't apologize for what you did, I don't like fake apologies either. Well, accountability. I would say people that can't take accountability. I can't.
Yeah, I like accountability more than apologies because I feel like if you're gonna keep saying you're sorry, then are you really sorry?
Right.
Why do you have to keep apologizing? When is I'm sorry like not even effective no more?
Right.
I know some people feel like you should always, apologize and talk it out, but sometimes it just needs to be left. Like just leave it where it's at. Let's keep moving forward. I don't feel like I need to talk about what happened or whatever because that might spark something else. Okay, well since we talking, let's do no. Leave it where it's at. No apology needed. I'ma do better. What about I'ma do better instead of I'm sorry. It won't happen again. Something else happens.
I think an apology don't have to be I'm sorry. I'm gonna do better is also an apology.
Apology is changed behavior.
I feel
If
like
you're not gonna change your behavior, there's really no point in
Right.
apologizing.
I agree with that.
it might be accountability is what I'll do better because you're taking accountability. Like you accept the fact that you did wrong or you messed up. So you're taking accountability by saying I'll do better instead of saying I'm sorry.
I would want the apology to be as loud as the incident.
That's the disrespect.
Okay.
A pet peeve would be if your words are louder than your actions. Stop saying I'm sorry, or I'm gonna do better. Make your actions match your words. It's not a pet peeve. If your actions are not matching your words, then there's no point of you apologizing. There's no point of you saying I'm gonna do better. There's no point of telling false narratives. Stop leading on. I like that word.
I think a pet peeve that I have is compromising. It shouldn't always be one-sided. Like, if you don't want to do something, then tell me, hey, I don't want to do it. Can we do this instead? So that I can be like, oh, okay, I have a different look, I have a different view on it.
Right.
Don't just say, no, I'm not doing that. Or no, I don't want to do that. Just, let's not do this. What about this? And then I can say, oh, but what about this? And we're like, oh, okay, so then now you can meet in the middle, certain way. That's compromise. I like compromise.
I think another one is being like financially irresponsible. Especially when it's one-sided. Like if somebody's like real responsible with their finances and you not, y'all just gonna stay in one spot financially.
Right.
Okay.
No, that was a good one.
That's what
my biggest pet peeve would be honestly be your partner being overly controlling. Overly controlling.
What do you mean by overly?
So it's just you decide to, hey, I'm gonna go get this accomplished today. And you got that goal set in mind and you're doing it, in the midst of doing it, what are you doing? Where are you at? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing, like, I said I was going to do this. You know, this is my goal for the day. Let me breathe and get it done.
Well, to say something about that, sometimes people not necessarily trying to be controlling. Some people just like have more comfort in knowing what's going on. Like if I just go to the doctor and they about to do some type of operation on me, I'm gonna want to know step by step. It's just gonna make me feel more relaxed to know what's going on instead of being in the dark.
I also think it's how you execute it as well. If you blowing up my phone, yelling, asking me where I'm at, I'm gonna feel a certain type of way. But if you call me or text me one time, like, hey, I just wanna know where you at, boom, I'm cool with that. Don't blow me up yelling.
That's fine.
You know, like it's how you execute it as well.
That's true. But you know how sometimes it is whenever you're irritated, you just call on a whim and be like,
That's called toxic.
You got a problem.
I believe my pet peeve for me is understanding like personal time alone. Because I believe everybody need that time to decompress without any like extra noise in your ear after you already then finally settled down. That's a pet peeve for me. Respecting personal time.
yeah. Oh, me too. I feel like mine would have to be probably understanding or like I have a better understanding and like talking to your partner in a level that they understand and you understand. Like, if I'm trying to explain something to you and I feel like you're not understanding, I'm gonna keep explaining until I feel like you understand.
Are
Or
you explaining for
vice
them?
versa.
Are you explaining for them to understand, or are you explaining for them to respond how you want them to respond?
No, I'm just trying to get you. This is how I explain it to D. If I'm teaching you something and I say 2 + 2 is 4, and you say I get it, and I say okay, tell me, and you say 2 + 2 is 6, based off of what you said, I know you don't understand. Even though you think you understand, you don't because your answer tells me you don't understand.
D, don't tell me.
Yeah, D thinks 2 + 2 is 6.
I thought it was 9, but it fell over. I don't know.
Screaming. But that's just an example, basically. Like, based off your answer, I know that you don't understand. And it's kind of like, just meet me in the middle.
Yes. Okay. Now that we know the relationship pet peeves, we're gonna move on to the next question. What's your thoughts on child support?
I think it's some bullshit. I ain't gonna.
I think it's just a scheme just to line women's pockets that has failed relationships most of the time.
I'm gonna take it away from women. I believe it's for the government to make extra money without having people work for it.
I think it's a way to keep the
It's
black
still
man
a-
down.
I believe it's
It's a way to keep the black man down.
I know too many people that's on it just for the sake of, oh, we're not together no more. I'm going to be spiteful and put you on child support.
I do believe there should be more of a deep dive into a parent relationship before they just say, okay, since you came here with this and presented nothing but just the words, I'm gonna accomplish. I believe there should be more stipulations to child support.
Okay, hear me out. I think if we was given a way to change child support, I feel like parents, dads, should have the option to say, I don't want those responsibilities. Sorry. Before you have that, like, you find out you're 6 weeks late, whatever. I'm pregnant. He should have to go to that ultrasound. He see the baby. He should be able to be there. He has to be there to watch the baby's born. He has to be there to support her if she chooses to keep it. Because what if he want a baby and she don't want a baby? She can go get an abortion without him having the right. So why can't men say, I don't want the baby? Like I don't want these responsibilities. Like, and they just give it all to you
But can't they sign
from jump. that's not a
Mm-mm.
thing, but
They can, but somebody has to be there willing to adopt.
So adopt.
Like if you have a husband or something. But based off of what Khadijah said, because stuff like that get backlash a lot. But I honestly do feel like men should be able to back out.
to back out.
Women have 3 options
Mhm.
to back out. They could have an abortion. Women can. You have like 30 to 60 days after your child is born to just bring it to a fire station with no questions asked. And you can give your baby up for adoption. Yes. 60 days until your baby is 60 days old, you can bring them to a safe haven and they don't ask you no questions. And you can also give up your baby for adoption. But men have it's like once they're pregnant, they have no chance to back out. No. I've had this argument before and it was like, well, they should wear a condom. Well, a woman should have worn a condom. I didn't know that. Wait. Okay.
That ain't a woman.
The woman should have made him wear a condom on birth control. Like anything you say about that, you can say it the other way around.
Since you brought up birth control, and to add this in there, women have more than 2 hands full of options of forms of birth control, and she still can just drop the baby off, give it up for adoption without a man consent to his kid. So women have more rights than men, and they just put men on child support with, again, no type of receipts that he is this bad person that she put him out to be.
Yeah.
That he is a deadbeat.
Mm-hmm. So I mean,
some people deserve to be on child support. I'm gonna say that.
Sign like the birth certificate. Because to be honest, I think they're only able to put you on it if you sign that birth certificate.
Yeah.
that's true,
You have to be
but
present in the home at the time of the
Yeah.
lady for the
So is
certificate.
that it's your choice if you sign that?
even if you're not on it and they say you're the father, the court is going to issue you an order
A man?
to come to court
To go
to
to
take the
petition.
DNA test
Test.
to make sure. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's crazy out there, man.
It's,
Trust me, I know.
right.
Me personally,
Oh, and then they gonna make the man pay for it. Sorry. So if it's not his and he paid for it, there's no reimbursement because it's money for them.
right.
Yeah. If you say that this is who the father is, then they gotta go in and do paternity and all that. Because he didn't sign it. He have to go do it. Because you said that's who it is. That's who
I
it's
would walk up there like I ain't seen this woman a day in my life.
I'm not gonna lie, I watched Maury a lot growing up, and 90% I heard you're not the father. How do you know you're just not accusing this man of being the father? You have fathers, and some mothers out here, because mothers can get put on child support as well.
That's true.
You have parents out here that actually wants to love their children, but because of child support, they build resentment of it, and they resent that child due to child support.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I just think that, like I said, sometimes men deserve to be on child support. Sometimes they don't. And like what you said earlier, like I feel like there should be a deeper investigation into, like, somebody shouldn't just be able to put you on child support because they mad you got a new girlfriend.
Right, and I feel like if you got like complete evidence that let's say your baby mama cheated on you or some shit like that,
It's still
and you could present that to the court, I feel like they should be like, nah, he ain't no child. They shouldn't let my boy just leave.
Yeah.
But
If you got that, but I know it's not like that, because she could cheat on you and they still put your ass on child support. So now you heartbroken and you broke.
Yeah.
BB.
Like, you could literally make me, you could make me mad Saturday night, Monday morning, I could be like, you know what, I'm going to the courthouse just because he pissed me off. Like, I have to have no reason to put him
No
on child
reason.
support, but because I want to.
And the crazy thing about it is, like, lead back to the government get the money. Let's say she put you on child support in January, and you don't have a court date until April. Well, the court is going to be like, well, you owe back child support because she filed in January.
And you
so
could
you
not
already
even know.
start off in the negatives,
And you cannot even know.
and you cannot know.
That's crazy.
So that's what I'm saying. It's completely messed up. So now and when you get your taxes or whatever, they're gonna automatically take that because you still probably stuck trying to pay from January up until April, and they just have their hands out like the grosses from Proud Family. They want they cut. So
I just feel like it should be more fair. Like they don't
We all
care
feel
about
like
men. You can make $5 a week and they gonna take $4.50. Like they don't
And
care.
then as a man, how do you go to start a new family if you broke as fuck?
They don't care either. They don't care. I promise you.
I gotta pay for it. I can't start a new household because I'm still paying for it. I feel like they should get, if a man leave a relationship and she put him on child support, they should give him a grace period or something. Like a year or 2 years to get his shit together. Because I'm telling you, bro, that shit, you can't start a new house.
Question is gonna be, if your partner lost their job, how long are you willing to stay?
Wait, I asked that question. Let's just assume we not married and all of that shit. Let's just say everybody just in relationships.
I'm gonna say I believe this is more of a women's question. Cause
Yeah,
a guy
yeah.
don't give a damn if a woman loses a job or not.
What if she the breadwinner?
It can. Well, if she the breadwinner, then that's different.
What if she-
Then no, because
If she was the breadwinner, at that point, you can't leave, her because she lost her job. Then you'd be a bum.
yeah, you can't live off your woman finances.
You a bum if she the breadwinner anyway. I ain't gonna hold you.
If you are actively still looking for one, even though you lost your job, then I understand. But if you was just sitting there and just absolutely not a fucking thing, and you just there, and I'm like, and I gotta be asking you, when you gonna look for a job, or I don't see you, if you not implying yourself smoky, I'm sorry. You a bum at this point, you got a GTL.
So how long is that?
That's what I'm saying. That's the question.
That's the question. How long is that you gotta go?
When I'm looking for a job, just being a bum on the game all day.
How long is?
However long it
With
takes
my
me to
patience that I have, I would probably say a month at the most. Because my patience are very short. I'm sorry. I have short patience.
You got an eviction
I have short
notice.
patience. You need to be on Indeed applying. You need to be calling jobs. You need to be showing up something.
So there's 30 days of
If you
doing
just
nothing.
if you just sitting there for 30 days, I'm doing nothing. And I'm just coming home. I'm working 8-9 shifts, and you just laying on the game, relax.
You got 29.
What is you
Yeah, that's
doing?
crazy.
Like, what's going on here? Like, what, you on vacation? No, I'm not about to break my back. No,
Oh.
because I say that because they always say, well, men are the breadwinners. So you just gonna let your whole house fall apart? Right. I mean,
That's real.
you gonna let your whole house fall apart?
90 days.
That's a
90 days Beyonce, 90 days.
You know how many games I could beat?
90 days.
Don't test me.
90 days. You know how much days you get? 90 days. I got my rent,
All right,
that I gotta pay.
I can't really-
and
Let's say he's cleaning a house doing.
Yeah, I was like,
Let's say he become a housewife for.
What, you a stay-at-home dad?
This the mom?
No, I'm just saying. Let's say he become a house mom for those 90 days.
that's the agreement that y'all have.
Right. Okay.
I'm sorry.
I
Is
think
that enough for him to extend his time?
Hell no. I'm sorry. House mom on your break when you're not cleaning, apply.
No, that's what I'm saying. At least
When the pot is on the stove cooking, apply. You do not need to be standing over no stove watching the stove cook the food. I'm sorry, apply.
So time out. Let's say the woman has enough income to sustain the household without him working. How long does he have then?
No, put a bonnet on and make sure my house clean.
Are
bathroom
y'all okay with
clean.
having
A house?
with a man be
A house husband?
I would say that
I wouldn't mind it.
if he was to lose his job and we are like financially set in a good way, then okay, I understand.
For how long?
But
How long? I gotta know how long.
We need a number.
If
on that part, I would say about 3-4 months max, because you gotta understand, you take it from your savings, you take it from your savings. You gotta cover bills, you gotta cover rent, all that's coming out your savings, so your savings is going down.
I like that.
if I could cover everything, like a man could cover everything, and you want to be a house husband, yeah, house husband. Because you gotta kind of look at it like somebody gotta do it.
Right.
Like if he taking his break, like you on your maternity leave, you don't have to worry about nothing. You just taking care of yourself and the baby. Let him. If you bringing in bread,
I respect that.
because not all women want to be in the house cooking and cleaning and cooking.
Watching concept. Now I'm just playing.
They don't want to stay home.
If you ain't doing nothing, like I don't see anything being done,
Chris Brown
You got about a week and a half.
Deuces.
A week and a half. I better never lose my job.
Chris Brown said, I'm working a job, don't play the game.
So look,
Every time you walk in the house, you better get on your knees.
Realistically, I would say, I probably would give you about at least 3 months. 3 months at the most, and that's still kind of.
That's
a
a
stretch.
That's a stretch.
Yeah,
3 months is a stretch.
I feel like that would be like
That's crazy when y'all paying all the bills.
how long would you give them? Like I said, let's say you probably lose the job tomorrow, and you know what? I've been thinking about it. I want to go to school and get this skill. Would you hold it out?
Now that's a difference because you got a goal and you got a plan set. So yeah, I'm gonna hold you down.
What if you don't graduate?
So you gonna sit down here and wish you got your time? It's a
So
fucking
if you don't graduate,
Now I'm just letting get your shit.
But y'all do know going to school, it takes some time. At least
some time.
some years.
I'm
So everybody was saying that if they're showing effort, they're applying, they're applying.
That's a plan that you have to. If I see you consistent at that plan and say, okay, well, I'm applying for school. Okay, if I see you going to school, you stuttering.
Oh, look.
he ain't graduated. He ain't graduated. That nigga
If I
stuttering
see you
in
going
class.
to school and you studying and you put in the work, then I understand. Yes, I'm gonna support you. I'm gonna back you up. You need some study guide. You need some. What you need me to tutor you? Let me know. I'm gonna support you.
That nigga got his
That
stutter.
yes.
You go ahead. I'm gonna say mine after yours because I have a different.
I would say as long as it takes me to walk in the house and be disgusted by you.
2 days. So it's 2 days. It's 2 days.
30 minutes. And then it depends on like what you doing. Like Keisha said, if you just sit in the house playing the game all day, like don't do absolutely nothing, eventually I'm gonna look at you like, ugh, like do something, get up. Like, right.
That really gonna piss me off. Like,
If you're not doing
especially
absolutely
if I'm
nothing,
coming home after a 9-hour shift and you just sit down and you just got shit everywhere.
Right.
Oh, what the fuck happened here? What's
So
going
what if he still was paying the bills with his savings and stuff like that? When does his
Oh, that's
when does his time start? If he could afford to
Bank
pay
account start going low.
4 months, of whatever he was paying, then when does it start? Does it start as soon as he lose that job, or does it start whenever he can't do anything anymore?
it starts like
It
starts to get low. And then it's only if you're absolutely doing nothing at all. I mean, like you just lay on the you putting a hole in the couch where you
But they
sit
say how
at.
long? Don't say the stipulation.
And then wait, is it?
Say how long?
She said putting a hole in the
Give him time.
That's a lot of gas, bro. Like,
It's only if they're not doing nothing that I would say
Like, if you ain't helping with
3
the
months.
kids,
If
my
you're not doing
savings
absolutely
going out-
nothing, 3 months.
3 months. Okay.
And then after that savings run out and I know it was your savings,
So
I'm gonna give you about 3.
So is it a working thing or is it a financial thing?
Exactly.
It's a financial thing.
So if he got
What y'all
bread,
saying,
but
he
he's
got
sitting
the
on his
money, but he's
ass,
sitting
y'all
on his
good?
ass, so y'all gonna be okay.
But I mean, eventually that money
Don't
go
have
run
to
out.
that.
Not really.
I'm gonna say
Still not good.
I'm gonna speak from personal experience with this one. I was out of a job for 6 months.
It was 6 months.
Yeah, it was 6 months.
Yeah,
And
seems
within
like-
those first 3 months, I had the time of my life just relaxing. I didn't have to worry about calling in, faking like I'm sick. I didn't have to use no PTO or nothing. I had enough money to financially support the household until I found something else. But after those 3-4 months, I started looking until something else came up. So, but I mean, I financially
You looked
had-
all
You
that.
financially helped out.
I was
You
looking
didn't
as
look for
well.
your first job till
How
so
long it
3
took
months
you to-
after?
Yeah, but I had the finances up until.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was after 3 months because I was enjoying my time off, like
No, that's
not
good.
waking up early, like just just relaxing. Like that shit felt good.
And I have another thing to say too. I think that I would give that grace because you never know where a person is mentally.
That too.
Shit. Bro, I was in between jobs where Naya got off of work. That first day, I felt like shit, bro. She gave me that look like I wasn't shit. I said, damn. I said, "It's like that?" I said, it ain't been 24 hours. I said, oh, hell no, I gotta get the ball rolling.
So important, like, with the mental type of thing too, where it mentally puts a man anyway. I feel like it wears more more like, I think it mentally affects a man than a woman.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, y'all. That wraps up the first episode of Mic Check 337. Thank y'all for tuning in. If y'all can please
Make sure y'all like and subscribe and comment on the bottom and let us know what y'all want us to talk about next.
thank you.
Boom.